Hello, 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 and God bless you. Welcome to another broadcast. Yes, I see it, I see it, I see it. And God bless you. Coming on, coming on. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Adrian, the first one pop in on YouTube. Let me check Facebook and see what's going on over there. That is Facebook. Okay. All right. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. We're about ready to launch another session of our chat line. We asked you to prepare to give us shout outs when you come on. Cynthia is on. I know that she has a large network that will be joining us. Hi, Cynthia. Melinda is on. Hi. That's right. Say hi when you come on. Cam, my girl. Happy birthday, belated. Happy birthday to you. God bless you, my dear. Y'all know you're on the couples line. Just want to say that. JC Willis, God bless you. Hey man. Sabrina Kerr, hello. Gloria. Hey, is that YouTube y'all on or Facebook y'all on? Let me know. Hey Vandalyn, I see you. Is that Facebook or that's YouTube? Oh, it's both. Okay. Hi, Aisha. I can see real good tonight. Okay. It's both. Kiki Hardeman is on with us on tonight. Boy, I got a great segment on tonight for the couples. I'm gonna talk about what's love got to do with it. What's love got to do with it? Is love enough? Is love enough? And to our singles, we're going to be talking about how to become a successful single. How to become a successful single. Hey, Dave. How you doing, man? David Stinson, God bless you. God bless you. Man, I love the idea. I'm hooked up now. Gee, you got me hooked up now. I can see the people. Hey, you can also, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions too. You can give your responses as we go along with it as well. I'm going to give some terrific tips for two also in this segment as well. Looking forward to doing that. As Cynthia would say, press those share buttons as well. And so share it so that others will have the opportunity to catch this broadcast, if not now, later. Looking forward to sharing with you in just a moment. We'll be launching about 2 minutes from now. If any of you all are not here in Miami, let me know that also. Let me know where you're viewing from also as well. We're happy to be here in the month of March. My brother's birthday was today, Alex. And for 1 month of the year, we catch up together in age as I am 11 months older than him. So next month, I'll leave him again. But for right now, people think we may be twins. We're the same age for a minute, technically, but then I'll leave him again next month. This month is MS Awareness Month, and we'll be wearing the color. Can't hear me, but you can see me. This brother said he can't hear me, but he can see me. Anybody else having problems hearing? My volume is up as high as it can go. Um, my volume is up as high as it can go. Anyway, I was telling you about MS Awareness Month. We'll be wearing the color orange this week. I mean this month. Some people say they can hear. Two people say they cannot hear. So MS stands for multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis, and it is deemed an incurable disease, but we're believing God for a cure even to that as well. The second Sunday in the month of March is designated as our MS Awareness Month. This month we're going the second Sunday, and we're asking everybody to flood the sanctuary with orange. And if you're watching online, wear orange at home that day as well. And then we'll also give you an opportunity to make a contribution to the foundation as well, so that you can be a part of it. All right, there's someone all the way from North Carolina. Dolores Silva, God bless you, from North Carolina, logging in on tonight. God bless you. Sandra in Jacksonville. That's my cousin them in Jacksonville. God bless you, Sandra. God bless you, my dear. But we are starting off with couples first. Couples first. MS Awareness. So we'll be announcing that at the end of the broadcast as well. They say it's uncurable, but it is not untreatable. It is not untreatable. They're also coming up every day with new medicines and new things that we hope will bring relief. The shots that they have to take are sometimes unbearable, but it's getting better. Just like with anything, technology is getting better, and so we will pray for them. That is our target in the month of March. Well, let's have a word of prayer and launch on tonight, because I can't wait to talk to our couples on tonight. Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for this privilege of being able to share in this format on tonight. I pray that the words of my mouth on tonight, the very meditations of mine heart, be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. We'll be ever so mindful to give your name all the glory and all of the praise. It is in Jesus' matchless name that we do pray. Amen. Amen. God bless you. We all the way from Whiteville, North Carolina. Her aunt is Margie Coley. She's Margie Coley's great niece. She's a great niece of Margie Collins. God bless you, my dear. Happy to have you on with us on tonight. Well, there's a pastor that was a great man of God. He actually had a tragedy. Hey, Sister Griffin, all the way in South Carolina. We got a broad scope tonight. His name was Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe. He is very big. He was very big on purpose. He had a very tragic car accident, a plane accident a few years ago, and but I had a privilege of meeting him, had a privilege of getting to know him, and he used to come as a frequent guest to Bethel over with Bishop, well, he was Bishop at that time, Malone, and also my friend Mike Mitchell. That's where I first met him at. Michael Mitchell brought him in, and I met this great man of God, and I never forget what he said. He said that when there is ignorance of purpose, abuse is inevitable. When there is ignorance of purpose, abuse is inevitable. When you don't know the purpose of something, you will use it for something else. How many of you all, well, I ain't going to go there, but you need to know the purpose of something or you will use it for something else. And he said, When you really want to know the purpose for something, go back to the manufacturer, the one that made it, and they'll tell you. Anyway, Miles did a piece. He wrote a lot of books, and he wrote this book on relationships. And hey, Wayne, how you doing, man? I'll be on singles after this, but I have to deal with this first. Miles wrote a piece, and he says, now you got to tell me whether you all agree with this or not. Okay, I'm telling you what Miles Monroe said, and it was such a shocking thing to me that I had to write it down and share with you on tonight. So this is like a direct quote from Miles Monroe. You tell me if it makes sense to you, okay? Miles said, love is not the foundation for marriage. Don't fall out yet. Let me state the argument. He says, love is not the foundation for marriage. He says, love does not make marriage work. Do not marry just because you're in love with somebody. Don't get married because you love somebody. Stay with me now. Don't comment yet. Let me give you the whole argument. He says that the divorcees that are on the line on tonight, you were in love one time too. Hopefully. There was a time that you were in love with the person that you married. You stood before a pastor, a justice of the peace. You stated that you declared your love for one another. But something happened that was stronger than love. Other things came up in your marriage that was stronger and more powerful than your love. You loved each other, but infidelity came in, unfaithfulness came in, abuse showed up. And I love them, but they are abusive. They are abusive, not just physically. Sometimes it was verbal abuse. Sometimes it was mental abuse. It was emotional abuse. I loved them, but I was neglected them. They loved me, but they neglected me. They were irresponsible financially. It wasn't that I didn't love them anymore. It's just that I had so many bills, and we were drowning in debt. And they say more marriages break up over finances than infidelity. It was a nightmare. We was always in foreclosures, and things were being cut off all the time. I loved him, but I got tired of sitting in the dark. I loved her, but she was a shopaholic. I loved her, but we just couldn't see eye to eye, which means that love did not save your marriage. This is for those that come on late now. I'm quoting you from Miles Monroe. Something came up that was more powerful than love. So then, he says, you cannot base your marriage just on love. He goes on to say, now that I have your attention, he says that successful marriage is the result of the application of knowledge versus the exchange of love. The application of knowledge. You can be in love all you want to, but that don't make that the right person for you. You can express all the passion that you want to that man, but that won't make that man the right man. It's going to take more than love. It's going to take understanding. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7, wisdom is the primary thing. But in all of your getting, get not love, but understanding. In all your getting, you better get you some understanding. You got to know that love alone is not enough. You got to, so many people were so in love. They were so in love. They can finish each other's sentences. They were so in love. They hurt. They couldn't be apart from each other. And a few short years later, they gone separate ways. I used to hear pastors get up. She is the sugar in my coffee. She is the such and such and such a. Oh, this is my wife over there. She is the da 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 da. What had happened then? What had happened? All that love. But love, missionary Tony Braxton said, love should have brought you home last night. You should have been with me. You should have been by my side. You know what you're going to need? You're going to need understanding. Understand. In all you're getting, get understanding. And if you get married to somebody and you don't have understanding, you're going to have a rough road. You got to understand his needs, her needs. You got to understand the roles that you're going to play, because it may not be the roles that you grew up with. You ain't marrying your mama. You know, is anybody picking up after you, bro? And you ain't marrying your daddy. I ain't fixing everything either. You know, and I'm not in the yard all the time. I pay people to do my yard. And sometimes we have unrealistic expectation because you don't understand. You don't understand. You got to understand what a real man does and doesn't do. You must understand how a woman is supposed to make a house a home. You understand? You just love each other. You just living on love. Miles Monroe said, don't marry just because of love. You got to understand the difference between male and female. You got to understand the psyche of the male species and the psyche of the woman. You got to know that men are from Mars and women are from Venus, totally different planets. You got to understand them. The Bible says you got to dwell with them according to knowledge. You got to know. You got to know how. You got to understand. I'm talking about understanding, right? You got to understand. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? You got to understand. Maybe I'm talking too fast. I don't want to preach this. I gotta calm myself down because I have a natural tendency to be one to preach. But I'm teaching this tonight, right? I said his needs, her needs, the roles of the relationship, what the man gonna do, what the woman gonna do. Wait a minute, now let's talk about it. I think the person that know how to cook ought to cook. Amen. If she can't cook, don't be saying, well, you the woman. No. I think the person that know how to iron should iron. I think the people that know how to wash should wash. I think if she cook, I'll at least wash the dishes. Well, I ain't never seen my daddy wash. A lot of things you ain't seen your daddy do. This ain't your daddy. This is something different. You got to talk and communicate what the needs and what the roles are going to be. You got to know. You got to know how to live together, understand how to live together. Teeth and tongue fall out every now and then, but you got to understand how to make the thing work. You got to understand how to manage emotions. See, we oftentimes talk about marrying our representatives. I sent my representative to my wife, and she sent me her representative, and I really liked her representative. She liked my representative, But if you marry the representative, uh, then you don't know what you really have until the representative is gone, and now you got the real thing, baby. I done fell in love with the representative. That you were so nice. You were cooking so well. You would all this. I do, I do, I do. Get married, you say, I don't and I won't. And don't ask me that no more. Wait a minute. So I got to understand. I got to manage my anger. Somebody got to talk to me about conflict resolution. I got to be able to resolve conflict and disagree without becoming disagreeable. Man, I'm telling you, it's more than a notion. Living with somebody, trying to live with somebody, it ain't just loving. Man, you can love each other and catch a case at the same time. Man, I love you. But I'm so jealous of you that I can't stand for nobody else to have you. So I'm gonna go ahead on and just take us both out. That's too much love. You got to have understanding. I got to understand communication skills, not osmosis, but communications skills. Understand all you're getting. Don't get more love, get understanding. Understand how to take a licking and keep on ticking. I gotta ask you in a minute now, what do you think about Miles' statement? Because it was shocking. He says, don't get married for love. Did you say, Naomi, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? Okay. Agree to disagree, Kimberly. I agree with that as well. Now, there's a scripture also in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Marriages are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Nobody taught you how to make it work. Some people are brought up in single family homes and they've never even seen a picture of a healthy marriage. We are destroyed for lack of knowledge. But in that same verse, it says, because you have rejected knowledge. You know what that means? That means ignorance is a choice. If you're ignorant about something today, it's by choice. Because there are too many ways in which you can learn. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, you can open a book and read and research it. Find out how it works. Find out how to be a real man in a relationship, how to be a godly man. Ignorance is no excuse for the law. Popo tell you that. Oh, I ain't know what the speed limit. Well, you know it ain't 80 in a community. You on the expressway. This ain't the Autobahn. I didn't know. Well, now you know. Ignorance is bliss. I'm telling you that he says, because you have rejected knowledge. There's just some people that refuse to learn. My wife and I took a vacation and we went over in Europe one year. And when we went to a restaurant, they didn't speak much English. and the menus were not in English. And when we tried to communicate and couldn't, they got frustrated with us and we had to leave. You know what they said? They didn't say it. Well, they might, they probably said it, but we didn't understand them. How you gonna come over here and don't understand our language like we supposed to change because you over here? But then right now in our communities, people can come into our city and don't speak a bit of English, and we'll make signs for them to read in their language, and some of them never ever even they'll teach their children, they'll send their children to be taught. They don't make up in their mind, I ain't learning no English. I'm good like where I am sitting right here talking about English may not be the primary language after a while. I'm saying that some people are willfully ignorant. And some people are like that with marriage also. They made up in their mind, I'm not changing. I'm not learning anything. Hey, you want to tune in to the chat line? I ain't tuning in no chat line. I don't want to hear nothing what pastors say. What and this willfully ignorance. They won't go to no workshops. They won't go to any conferences. We had a conference last year. Towards the end of it, Cynthia knows that we begged couples to come be a part of it. Had literally a free vacation attached to it. Tell them about all my business. They won't go. Just stuck where you are. Just happy doing nothing. But here's this in that same verse. Check this out. In Hosea 4:6. Did you write that down? Not only did it say that the people are suffering for lack of knowledge, it said because they have rejected knowledge, but then it also said that God was going to reject them because they rejected knowledge. That God wasn't even going to let them be priests because they rejected knowledge. Because they were willfully ignorant, God says, I can't use you to represent me ignorant. You know, our forefathers, they didn't know a lot. They didn't read a lot. Man, but they stayed close enough to God. And God gave them grace to make it. What's our excuse? But then one of the sad things in that same verse, at the end of it, it says, I will also forget your children. Ignorance is transferable. Ignorance is transferable. When we don't learn, sometimes we pass those stubborn ways. Our kids grow up to see mommy and daddy arguing like cats and dogs all the time. Can't work nothing out. Their happiest times is when one of y'all ain't there. They should be able to see what a happy couple look like sometimes. But when they see meanness and they say, I ain't gonna never do that to my wife when I grow up, and then they become what they despise, what they've been exposed to, they experience it themselves. It can be transferred. Lord, we come against generational curses. Lord, we come against that spirit that were in generations before us, that was so unloving, so ignorant as to meeting each other's needs, so selfish that wanted only their needs met and not their partners. So, our children learn from us. We teach them how to act by our behavior. So then, I must ask the question, do you agree with Miles Monroe? You don't have to. Do you agree with Miles Monroe that it's going to take more than love in order to make a marriage work? He says, Tina says, what love got to do with it? And I know that some people want you to believe, I know love covers a multitudes of faults. But you better find out about the person and try to understand them before you say, I do. I'm going to talk to my singles in just a second. Before you jump the broom, understand what you're working with. Understand them. I slipped over into the singles. Hold on, I still got a few more minutes with the couples, but you got to stop dating and start interviewing. That's how you get unequally yoked. I'll talk about that in a little bit with our singles being yoked up with the wrong people in life. So then, here are some strategies for successful relationships. This month will be 38 years for Sister Jackson and I. She is, by the way, she's in school, and she is so close to getting a master's in Christian counseling. And let me tell you, she is doing so well in school. She is carrying a 96 to 97% average. That girl is almost smarter than me. I can't believe that. She is remarkable. She's doing great in school. I wish I could have. No, I know. She is doing great in school, and she is almost finished. She is almost finished, and in fact, she may have a graduation coming up before the year is out. So please, when you see her, congratulate her. She is doing a phenomenal job. But here are some tips for two. Here are some tips for two. We've established the fact that it's going to take more than love. Look at Francesca. You're not on the marriage. We're not on the single yet. Got a lot of singles eavesdropping on tonight. But that's good, though. You need it. You need it. You need to file it away. You need to file it away. I'm going to talk about how to be a successful single. But there's some tips for two. All right, you ready? Here's number one. Enhance your love map. Enhance your love map. Somebody type that in there. Enhance your love map. You have to have a map. You have to have a map for in your marriage, and on this map you have to chart out. That's right. Thank you, Donald. You have to chart out things that will enhance your marriage. You have to learn. You have to learn about talk about knowledge already, right? You know, who are your partner's best friends? Map it out. Map out the relatives that they like the least. Map it out their hopes and their dreams. Find out what their ambitions are. What are their favorite colors? A lady asked me the other day, what is your wife's favorite restaurant? And I was able to tell her because I've mapped these things. I mapped these things out. When you're going to be successful, you got to enhance the love map, wherein the Bible said you dwell with them according to knowledge. And so you got to map out. You got to be careful with maps now because maps change sometimes. Some of y'all remember when they actually had maps, physical maps that we had. And remember we used to travel, the map in the glove compartment, and we pull that map out and we map out our trip right there. And that was cool, except for sometimes roads were there that ain't on the map. Sometimes there's something new that comes up that the map is not outdated. The map is outdated. The map is outdated. So in marriage, you have to keep enhancing the map, making sure, because as we get older, our bodies change, our desires change, and things that we used to enjoy doing, we don't enjoy so much. Make a note of that. My favorite restaurant now is not what it used to be. She's in love with Samurai right now. Why my wife got to love the most expensive restaurant in the South Dade area? Well, but yeah, it's not about money. It's not about money. It's not about money. It's not about money. It's expensive though, but it ain't about money. It ain't about money though. But she loves Samurai. For whenever she said, I said, "What you want, baby?" She said, "Well, yeah, I think I like Samurai." I said, don't worry, call it in. Amen. She likes that. So you enhance the love map. You got that? Here's number 2. Nurture your fondness and adoration. Nurture your fondness, fondness, your fondness and adoration. Nurture that. Things that you've found with each other, the fondness that you all had, not F-U-N fun, but fun, F-O-N-D, fondness, the adoration that you have for one another. You got to nurture that. You sit down and you write the qualities that you love in each other. At least 3 things, 3 qualities that you love about your spouse. What are 3 things that you can name? At least 3 things. Are they good providers? Is she very sensitive in a good way? Is she supportive of you and your goals? Does she affirm you? Do you pay her attention? What are some things? What are some qualities that you can nurture your fondness of each other? There's a lot of times unhappy couples, they can't think of anything. They just stop being fond of each other, and then they stop adoring each other. But you have to nurture it if you want to grow. Got it? Thank you, Donna. Here's number 3. Turn towards each other instead of away from each other. Turn towards each other instead of turning away from each other. Sometimes as you grow longer in this thing, some people start turning away from each other more, almost back to back. But turn that thing back around, face to face. Turn towards each other. Keep giving each other full attention. Turn towards each other. We're able now. We wasn't back in the day when you had them cell phones that were big old walkie-talkie cell phones. You couldn't hardly give people your full attention. But now, through the age of text messaging and messaging, inboxing, you can stay in touch. Little gifts along the way to let you know I was thinking about you. If I find out what your love language is, I turn towards you. As I turn towards you, I know your love language. I know the language that she speaks. I do. I know her. I know her language. I don't have to guess. After 38 years, I know her love language. I try to keep turning towards her. See, if you turn towards her, then you won't find yourself turning towards another. You have to keep that full attention that way. And the world is so crazy, and there's so much out there in the world that will distract you. You follow me? You follow me? I don't have but a few more minutes. But do you follow me that it is important that you stay focused? And that happens when you turn towards, keep leaning on each other, keep engaged with each other. Uh, it's not a ball and a chain situation. And some single person out there, man, I got to report in. No, man, it's just consideration. It's like, something could have happened to you, and I don't know. I don't even know, what's going on. You don't have to know every place that they go. You don't have to do that. It's just consideration. You're not feeling that, huh? That's contemporary relationship. They're not feeling that. There's too much like accountability, but in a successful marriage, you keep turning towards each other to the point where then they become like best friends for you, that you know each other. I turn towards them. You got that? Did you get that? Yeah, you got that, Donald. Thank you. And so, thank you, Lynette. Yes, and out of respect. All right. And so then number 4 is let your partner influence you in a good way. Let your partner influence you in a good way. Sometimes we're just not considerate enough of the feelings of our partners, and we don't listen to them. But you have to allow them to influence you. I mean, how many mistakes have we made because we wouldn't listen, because we would not listen to sound advice, because we're a man and we're going to figure this out. But sometimes you have to let them influence you. Your partner has a perspective also. It's not your way or the highway. Where you get that from? Where you get that from? Ain't no your way to highway. You gotta work the thing out. You got to learn how to allow your partner to influence you in a good way. Do you ever take suggestions that they have? Do they ever get a perspective? Do they get a vote? Can they make a decision? Especially for you all that are in your a little older than your spouses. Especially those of you that are in your next time around relationship and it didn't work in the last one, and something comes up and you already know because you've been in something before and it didn't work then. But just, man, every relationship is different. You cannot bring the baggage of the previous relationship into the new relationship. You have to start fresh. He has a perspective. This is not just men either. There's a lot of women that are so strong-willed that they're so. Yes, my husband has an opinion when I give it to him. I mean, okay. Let your partner influence you the right way. Okay. Here's the last one in this category. Solve your solvable problems. Solve your solvable problems. I'm going to have to explain that one right. Solve, come on, Donald, stay with me. Solve your solvable problems. There are some problems that are solvable, and you have to solve the solvable problems. There are some problems that if you work through them and work them, you talk it out, you can do that. You take a soft approach. The Bible says that a soft answer can sometimes turn away wrath. You solve the problems that are solvable, and this happens through compromise. That happens through compromise. Be tolerant of each other's. We all make mistakes. And so the things that you can work through, you work through. Everything is not life or death. Everything is not. Never mention divorce in an argument. No, man. No, man. That's that. I'm not saying there will never be a time to talk about it if that's where you're headed, but it should be calm, and ain't nobody got to be mad to do it. It's just a decision that we need to go in different directions. But there are things that are solvable, things that are workable. What? You gonna throw away everything over that? Come on now. Come on now. You have to work towards a solution. Solve the problems that you can solve. But there may be some problems that you cannot solve. When you run into an unsolvable problem, when I say unsolvable, I'm talking about things that you and your partner can't work out. You just have different perspective. You can't even agree to be disagreeable. You don't even agree on that. I can't even agree to be disagreeable with you. I can't. It's just so therefore you need another party. You need another person. Solve the problems that you can solve, and those that you can't, you're going to have to. Listen, I'm a pastor, and I could easily just tell you to pray about it. I can easily just say, y'all join hands and stay on your knees until y'all work it out. I can say that. That's a great religious answer. I'm just trying to keep it real with you. That there may come a time that there needs to be another person, a third party. You may need Christian counseling. You may need professional counseling. You may need an objective person that can listen to both of you all and hopefully give you advice if you're willing to take it. Sometimes there's a need for that. I can't solve this problem. It's just like before when you can work on cars and you can fix it. I ain't got to take this nowhere. I can fix it. When it's going to be fixed, it's going to be fixed. I'm just got to do this. And you trying to fix it yourself and you fix one thing and take and lose something else. After a while, you end up taking the thing to somebody else that knows more about it than you. There are professionals out there that can help. I can't tell you how many couples I were able to help just being objective. Now, don't come to me expecting me to take sides now. I'm going to listen to both, and I don't care who you are. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to give you my opinion, my perspective, my prayerful decision on what I've heard. And sometimes it can't just stop with me. I've actually sent couples on to get professional help. I come to the point where I said, I can't help y'all no more. We've been going through all these sessions and y'all still ain't got no better. If you want to make it work, you need to go get professional help. I solve the problems that I can solve. I try my best to solve the problems that I have to. Back in the day, there was nobody to turn to. There was nobody to help. Today, there is help available if you need help. The people are dealing with mental help. They're dealing with mental illness. Some folks are dealing with grief and they can't handle it. They've lost somebody very close to them and they're taking it out on you. They don't even know why they're so mean all the time. They need some professional help to help them understand what they're going through. And sometimes it's just that when they come to that knowledge of what they're doing, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm hurting my partner like that. So I wanted to kind of go in on that point a little bit to let you know that that is a real issue. How much time we have left? We got enough time to share a couple of more nuggets? with the couples. Got enough time? Share a couple of more. Uh, Never stop dating. Never stop. Write that down, Donna. Never stop dating. Cynthia, you got that? Never stop dating. Don't stop. Don't stop dating. If you think that dates are expensive, try divorce. See how that is cheaper to keep them. Never stop dating. Have I know that with COVID has been a little different. A lot of times we're eating out now. I'm telling you, man. My daughter has been gone, since August, right in the middle of the COVID, and we haven't had a chance to really, get out. My wife has pre-existing, situations, and so she is very cautious of it. So we haven't been fully able to take advantage of things. But oh, how I look forward to getting back to more normalcy, that I can start dating. I know it's you have to be creative. Come on now, you have to be creative when you have children. When it comes to dating, but you have to do it. You have to make a time that the dates don't have to be expensive dates. But here are some things to do on your date. You ready? Here's because you don't forgot. Y'all done been together for so long. Here's Pastor got to help you. Okay, on your date, give your spouse at least 3 compliments throughout the night. Give your spouse at least 3 compliments. You know how much effort people have to go through to go on a date? You know how much preparation that goes into that? Trying to look good, and you ain't said nothing all night. All their compliments coming from other people. You ain't said nothing. Give them at least 3 compliments through the night. How about this? No, you ain't gonna do this. All right, I'll tell you anyway. Feed your spouse at least 1 bite during the meal. Feed your spouse at least 1 bite during the meal. You're not gonna do that. You say that ain't what black folks do. You better, we on a date, man. Ain't no black and white. It's a date. Talk about expectations for one another in this season of your life. Table talk. Talk about your goals and aspirations and where we are now and where we want to go. That we see ourselves at this point now. I'm just giving you some so y'all won't be saying, listen, put the cell phones away. No texting. Come on now. Unless it's the children. Unless it's an emergency. Come on now. No electronics. Why do I have to say that? Why do I have to say that? You have to say it these days, because you got the phone laying on the table. No, put it away. Put it away. Most of that stuff is 90% of it is not an emergency. Put the thing away. Turn it. Check everybody. Everybody okay? Okay. Don't call us. You already know Friday night, every other Friday night is date night. You got me? We together? That wasn't even on my list. Lord gave me that one right off the top of my head. Take a moment before dinner ends and pray for your marriage and for your spouse. Just before the meal ends, take a moment. Don't pray no altar prayer. Just whisper a little prayer, asking God to bless your relationship. I had the prayer line on the telephone for so long. Okay, well, I'm going to have to release the couples at this time. I want to tell you that marriage is God's idea, and that I believe that He is the manufacturer. I believe that He's able to help you to keep the thing together. I thank God for the love that I have for my wife and we have for each other. But it is the understanding that has kept us together. It is not just the love, but it's understanding. And listen, it's ever evolving. It's as soon as you think you got one thing figured out, it be something else. But I'm in this. Joe Pollock used to say, I signed up for this. And so therefore, David, you say you're guilty with the phone. Me too, man. And so I live by that phone so much. I have to listen. I have to put it away, man. I have to put it away. In fact, if both of y'all together, both of y'all don't need the phone in case the kids call. You know, you can turn yours off. So I'm a pastor. Anything could happen. You know what? If something happened, there's nothing I can do about it until after dinner. There's nothing I can do about it till after dinner. Afterwards, I call and I pray for you, or I try to come. But that time is very important. Church folks will make you mess up your family. It's family first. It's family first. It's God, family, other stuff. God, family, other stuff. And when I say family, it's couples first. It's the husband and wife before the children. No. It's 9 o'clock right now. Can I tell you? It's got to be y'all against the children. It's got to be you against the children. Because them children are going to be grown and gone. They're going to be grown and gone with their own families. You got to make sure that you all keep that thing together. Father, I thank you for this time of sharing tonight with our couples, and I pray, God, that you would give us understanding. Help us to understand. Help us to understand our roles in the relationship. Help us, to God, to figure the thing out. Help us, oh God, to follow these tips for two, that we will be successful. I pray now, God, that you would help us now to build on the foundations that we have established, which is on you. We thank you now. We claim it in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. All right. All right. All right. I'm not dismissing the couples because I think that you have special interest in this as well. But I like to get right on back to our singles on tonight. I want to talk about being a successful single. I ain't trying to say you're going to be single forever. I am trying to say that you're going to be single until you're not. And if you're going to be single, you need to be successful. David, all that, and you single? I thought you, he says, it's our time now. I thought you was married, man. You got all them notes. Okay, singles. Hey, I want to talk about single. How do you become successful single? Everybody ought to want to be a success in whatever you do. Melinda, you want to be successful in whatever you do. So if you're going to be single, I ain't going to say you're going to die single, but if you're single now, then you need to understand how to be successful as a single. I'm going to make a statement. The average person has never been single. The average person has never been single. Even though he or she may be unmarried or even divorced, single means three things. Taking notes. Single means separate, unique, and whole. In the dictionary, there's several definitions of single, but I like the one that says singleness, it means to be separate, it means to be unique, and it means to be whole. And you got to know that you got to be successful as a single before you can call yourself wanting to be married. You got to be separate. You got to be unique. And you got to be whole. I gotta slow down and teach, man, because that make me want to preach this. Listen, when you're single, you got to learn how to enjoy your own company. Because if you don't, then you thinking that marrying somebody, is gonna make you feel that you ain't alone. But loneliness is a mentality. I mean, you can be around people and still be lonely. It's an emotion. I mean, you gotta love yourself. You got to know how to be separate. Know how to be okay. Know how to take yourself out. How many will there be? One. How many you see? Or is somebody else joining you? No, I'm fine. You can take away the other wine glasses. You can take away the other plates in the settings. It's just going to be me. I take myself to the movies. I take myself to the show. I take myself to the spa. I even take myself on a cruise. You hear me? I love me some me. That is when you know you are moving towards a successful single. And then unique. You ain't trying to be like anybody. You know what? You ought to be like, I'm good in my own skin. I'm unique. I'm one of a kind. I'm talking about singleness. And then whole. Marriage is not two halves coming together. Boy, I'm going to put my half with your half and we'll make a whole. Man, are you serious? You're supposed to be whole already. Marriage is not supposed to complete you. Jesus completes us. We are complete in him, so says Colossians. But marriage is two wholes coming together. If I was in a classroom setting, I'd have you to draw. I have you to draw. I have you to draw the letter A, capital letter A. I have you to draw the capital letter H, and then I have you to draw the capital letter M. And I say that the letter, the first letter, I say H, the first letter H, I say this is not healthy because there's only one line that connects. It represents an independent relationship. You're connected by this one line to make this H. That's the H. It's just independent. That's when people go on separate, But then you're supposed to be in a relationship, but it's jacked up because ain't but one thin line connecting you. But then the letter A, capital letter A, it's a dependent. And a lot of you ever see couples that are real old, been together for 40, 60 years, when one die, the other one dies too. You ever seen that? When one person goes, the other one goes too. That's because they leaned on each other so much that when one fell, the other one collapsed also. Unfortunately, sometimes even as singles, you lean too much on people. Come on now. Come on now. This is supposed to be your time. This is supposed to be the time that you understanding yourself. You are unique. You are unique. You are separate. Therefore, you cannot lean on anybody like that. Not that much. No, no, no. Because here's the goal. Are you listening to me? You got to, even if you call yourself in a serious relationship, singles, don't get too dependent on the person because anything can make somebody move. Anything can make somebody move. And if they move, you can't collapse. The letter A is leaning on the other another line. And if one of those lines move, they collapse. Nobody should make you have a breakdown. Nobody's going to make you lose it. Hello? Nobody's going to make you catch a case. I don't care if they move. Don't flatten nobody's tire. Don't bust out nobody's window. Don't throw a brick through nobody's house. Don't do nothing that's going to cause you to catch a case because somebody moved. That's what people do. They may move on you. But even if they move, you still got to be able to make it because you are whole. The letter M, even though it's kind of, you got to really look at it creatively. But you see, an M was an N first. An M is really two N's coming together. When two N's, if you look lowercase, you can see it even clearer. You see these two, you learn that the hard way, David. Yeah, when somebody fall, man, that's when singles, y'all start putting stuff together. You start getting bank account. Y'all ain't even married. Y'all start doing stuff together. You start dressing alike. You got your little outfits alike, everything, you don't moved in with each other, and and you acting like you're married and you ain't married, and you start leaning on each other. Next thing you know, somebody moved and you collapse. You can't go on. You're depressed. You can't make it. Now you're thinking about suicide. You're thinking about killing yourself. You're thinking about taking a long walk on a short bridge. Why? Because somebody moved. The devil is a liar. You are whole. You are a whole letter. You was whole before you met them. And you'll be whole when they're gone. You are M. You are M. You are M. And M is two N's coming together intentionally. They come together intentionally. Now, if you separate an M and they go back to being an N, that hurts. Because anytime you've been together with somebody for any length of time, it hurts to separate them. There's no way you can separate without getting some of that on you. It's a hard separation. But guess what? You still be standing though. You still be standing there. You'll live to hook up with another end if it's the Lord's will. If not, you ride it out by yourself. Ride it out by yourself. I'm still separate. I'm still unique. And I'm still whole. This is what happens when singles become too interdependent on people. They end up frustrated. You see, I finished with the marriage, but I'd rather be single frustrated than married and frustrated. Sometimes the loneliest people in the world are not the singles. It's the married folks. They the ones that are lonely, but they looking at you. Married people are trapped sometimes in a marriage that's not working. There's some of them. I'm talking to the singles. I don't talk to the married. Sometimes married folks are trapped in a dark place, David, in a dark place, and they can't get out. But that's not your testimony. That's not your testimony. It's better to not be married and wish you were married than to be married and wish you were single. But I said something. Didn't I just say something? It's better to be single and wish you were married than married and wish you were single. Yeah, I want to just say a word more about the singles. Now, when you're single, and we are interviewing, we're interviewing, and so you got this thing about being yoked up right. Being yoked up right. Got to be careful about unequally yoked. You got to be careful about being unequally yoked. And young people today said they don't care nothing about no unequally yoked. But it matters who you're yoked up with. Here's a scripture. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18. Be not unequally yoked. The ox and the jackass are both strong. The ox and the jackass are both very strong creatures. Ox, their nature is they both can be very stubborn. You heard the expression stubborn as an ox. Another say stubborn as a mule. They both are changed. They both are stubborn, but an ox will change its nature and pull. But a jackass will not change its nature, and they won't work together. And so therefore it is important that when you start thinking about choosing a life partner, that you don't marry an ass. Make sure they're an ox. Okay, I put it like that. Make sure that you're not unequally yoked. And when I look at the ox and the ass, that's actually biblical. Write that down. Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 10. Do not yoke an ox and an ass together. I didn't make that up. Okay. Someone say, how do I know love from lust? How do I know love from lust? Because it's a thin line between love and lust, and I'm single, right? And I just want to make sure I don't mess the thing up because, I put my feelings involved with it. So how do I know it's real? How do I know it's real? How do I know it's real from fake? Because everybody say they love you. They throw that word around so much. I love you, love you, love you. Just meet somebody and they in love. Okay. There are 5 ways. There are 5 ways to know it's real love. Who's writing this down? 5 ways to know there's real love. Okay, here's number 1. Real love isn't based on anything physical. Real love is not based on anything physical. Physical attraction, physical looks, sex, physical attributes. Real love is not based on the physical. I just love you. Why you love me? Because look at you. Oh my gosh, I just love the way you look. Woo, I love the way you work it. Don't diggity, don't back it up. Love the way you work it. No, man. You gotta be more than physical attraction. Anybody know? You don't marry the container. You gotta marry the contents. Write that down. It's the contents, not the container. It's the contents, not the container. The container, I ain't gonna say may change, will change. The container will change over the course of time. It's the contents. It's the contents. I know people right now, they so glad they stayed and stuck it out with a person, because when you get older, you never know what life is going to bring you. You never know what life is going to bring. There was one guy that was older. He was bragging about his young wife. He married somebody 30 years younger than him, and he married her, and they're all happy the first few years. But then I saw him later. He was like, man, she don't even know. She don't even know when I was having a stroke, man. She thought I was playing. I'm having a stroke, and she going on with her. I said, man, you better marry somebody gonna change your pampers. You better marry somebody that's gonna be there with you. And brothers, you marry somebody that you're gonna love for better or for worse. But when you're single, man, you got to make sure this thing is not just based on physical attraction. Now, it does matter. Tiger Woods say, successful golf, you got to have 10% ability and 90% mental. That's what Tiger Woods say. To be successful in golf, it takes 10% physical and 90% 90% emotional. But he says, or mental. But he says, but you gotta have the 10%. You gotta have the 10%. And even though it ain't all physical, it does help get your attention. I'm not trying to downplay the physical. I'm just saying that real love is not based on anything physical. Hey, Joe Pollock, come on, my brother. Man, I got to talk to you tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, Pastor Jackson and Joe Pollock going to have a conversation. All right, number 2, real love doesn't play games. Real love doesn't play games. If you call yourself loving somebody and all you see are games they're playing, that ain't real love. Talking only when it's convenient, hitting you up for a hookup, borrowing money from you, borrowing your car like baby boy, taking you to work in your car. Baby boy. You don't play games. Don't play games. Don't play with my emotions. That's not real love. You got that? You write that? Okay, real love is not the games. Don't play games. That's number 2. The other things were a takeoff of number 1. Number 1 is real love isn't based on physical attraction. Number 2, real love doesn't play games. Number 3, real love won't compromise your self-love. Real love, this is deep. Real love won't compromise your self-love. In other words, it won't ask you to love yourself less. Still love yourself. Does that make sense? Loving you shouldn't mean that I love me less. I read a book once that says loving you almost cost me me. Loving you almost cost me me. Don't it ain't real love. That's too high of a cost to lose yourself into somebody else. That now I don't want to be around my own family. I just want to be around you. I can just eat and drink you. Oh, I just love you. I just love you. I love you. I love you. My whole world revolves around you. Come on, man. Real love won't compromise your self love. If it's real love, they won't ask you to lose yourself in them. I don't want that kind of love for me. I want you to love yourself. The Bible says, I love my neighbor as I love myself. You got it? I like that point. Here's number 4. Real love is knowing your worth. Real love is knowing your worth. Knowing your worth. You have to demand or put a demand on real love. If you want to stop being in relations, if you want to stop being in relationships where you are treated less than you deserve, then stop putting up with it and demand more for yourself. Demand real love. You have to teach people how to treat you. We accept the love we think we deserve. Real love is knowing your worth. I'm worth more than that. No. That violates my principles. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. No, you got to know what you're working with. I know that you've probably used to dealing with people that negotiate like that. If you do this for me, I'll do that for you. If you do this, then I'll do that. You do this and I'll do that. Real love is, I won't say that, but I will say that you got to know your worth. Real love knows your own worth. Here's number 5. Real love is about patience. Real love is about patience. Life is hard, and love is hard. Relationships are hard. Things won't always go smoothly or your way or according to plan. And so you have to have some level of patience. We all are evolving. None of us are what we were, and we're not what we're going to be. So if you got somebody that won't be patient with you, then that may not be real love. And somebody that's trying to rush your development. I told Dolores about growth. I told them about growth. When I said about growth is being connected. When I say that love is patience, people are under construction and they're growing. And when something stops growing, then it starts dying. When stuff stops growing, then it starts dying. We must always continue to develop and to grow. You'll never get grown in your relationship. You'll keep growing. And so if I'm single, I got to make sure that I don't go for the okie doke that somebody expects me to be grown, because they came out of a situation that forced them to grow up too fast. But I'm on my own pace. If you want me to grow, hey, bruh, you want me to grow? Nurture me. You want me to grow? Take care of me. You want me to grow? Put a little sunshine in my way and spread a little waters of blessing in my direction. You want me to grow? Pull up some of the weeds around me that are stunting my growth. You want me to grow? Clear out all the rocks and the stony ground and put a fence around it to protect it from predators that are trying to steal my stuff. You want me to grow? You make it happen. You young ladies, if you want to grow, you want somebody to be patient with you, you be patient with them as well. Some of y'all don't put too much work into situations to give up at this point. Just a little more patience. You just never know what's up the road and around the corner. There's a little more patience. It's trying my patience, Pastor, trying my patience, I know. But you got to be a little more patient. Hang in there. Things will get better by and by. All right. Now, we are on one of my favorite passages. I'm talking about some tips for singles. Boy, y'all writing a lot tonight. That's what it's about. It's writing, taking notes. I'm going to give you some tips for singles. And then I got to go back to my red flags. I love my red flag series. How much time I got? All right. Okay. So, being a single Christian is a world full of couples. Being a Christian single in a world full of couples can get kind of annoying sometimes, especially if you have been through some failed relationships. It doesn't help when many of our friends seem to find the perfect person for you. They are always trying to matchmake for you. Somebody on the line is always, I always got the, Francesca, I like the flags. God, good job. I'm going to get to my flags in a second, baby. Let me give you these tips first. There's still some hope. Instead of tripping, here's some tips for singles. Are you ready? Who's writing? Who's writing? Who's taking the notes? Okay. Here's number one. I have to throw a religious concept in every now and then. Prioritize godly living. Prioritize godly living. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. As Joe Pollock say, Dolores is writing. Okay, prioritize godly living. When you devote your life to God, you quickly find out that all your everyday human concerns will be met. Seek first the kingdom of his God and his righteousness. I'll hook you up with all these things that you need. That's number one. Here's number two, and it's very important. Don't settle. Don't settle. I don't want to hear nothing about no clock ticking. Don't settle. Soon as you settle for somebody, the person that you should have been with comes along and you're like, sometimes you're committed to something less. Don't settle. One problem many singles have is being impatient. They're so excited to find themselves, find the love of their life, that they sometimes blind themselves to the reality. They miss out on important red flags, which I'll talk about in just a second. Don't settle. I don't see nobody writing. I don't see nobody writing. Y'all tired? If y'all tired, we can end this early. If y'all tired, you're gonna have me giving you all this information and nobody taking no notes. Don't settle. Be accepting. Number 3, be accepting. While you shouldn't settle for a partner, you should also be open to accepting of other people and who they are. When you get into a relationship with somebody, you can't manipulate. You can't manipulate them. I don't want you to settle for somebody that's mediocre, but you may have to be more accepting. You may have to be more accepting because you are not perfect yourself. And so in your quest for perfection, you got to keep in mind that you have flaws also. So you have to be accepting. He too short. Well, you know, they used to have platform shoes back in the day. But when I put the brother on some platform shoes, oh, you got a raggedy mouth. Take the brother to the dentist and get his teeth straightened out. Oh, his hair. Oh, we got some stuff for the hair also. Yeah, we got a lot of things. Sometimes you got to work with them a little bit. You got to work with them a little bit. You got to be accepting. Accept what you can now. Stuff that you cannot accept. If you can't accept it now, don't think it's going to get better later. It may even get worse. So only the thing that you can accept. Number 4, I've said it before, enjoy. Thank you. Barbara says she's taking her own note. Okay, manipulation is a boundary for you. I feel you, brother. Number 4 is enjoy your singleness. Don't stress or worry. Live each moment and be actively present. Only focusing on your future will cause you to miss out on some great moments that are happening right now. Enjoy. Be happy. Don't be dragging, moping around, especially on holidays. How did y'all make it on Valentine's Day? On Valentine's Day, but you all okay? Nobody ain't slit your wrist. Nobody ain't take no overdose, did you? Did you know what happened on the 15th? Sun came up. You know what? It was another day. On the 15th of February, you know what happened? It was another day that the Lord had made, and we rejoiced and were glad in it. I'm trying to tell you, enjoy and don't let nothing get you down. Enjoy your singleness. Number 5, value commitments. Value. Just to say you made it. I went out with a friend. Okay. Value commitments. When looking for that future spouse or special person, when looking for them, live, find someone who will stand with you to be in your corner no matter what. Value commitments. Even through tough times, good times, you'll find true commitment. It's hard to find today, finding somebody that is committed. I told you the 4 levels of friendship, right? This is not a point. We're still on number 5. Let me do like my brother Art and my friend D.L. Powell, and now my son. They have sub points to the points. The 4 levels of friendship. Casual friends. And then you have common friends. Then you have committed friends. And then you have covenant friends. You say, this my friend. You need to know know what kind of friend you're talking about. When you say casual friend, with casual friends, then y'all can be Dutch sometime too. You can't expect people to be paying for your food all the time if y'all just casual friends. You may have to pay sometime. It's a casual friendship. This ain't no date. This ain't no date. We just kicking it. It's plutonic. Hello? I mean, I still believe in chivalry. It's not dead, but you don't sit in the car and wait for me to go. No, James Brown say, I open the door and get it myself. It's casual. It's casual. We kicking it. It's cool. Don't get it mixed up. This ain't no commitment. It's okay to have casual friends. It's okay. You can't expect people to be paying for you everywhere you go. We casual. You don't want no unrealistic expectations, do you? This is casual. It's understanding. You got understanding. I got other people I see. You got other people you see. We fine. We just out. Other people, when they see you, they may think it's more. You got to know this. We just friends. We just friends. Y'all got me? Y'all got casual friends of the opposite sex? Oh, casual friends of the same sex. You got friends that you can just kick it with nothing. You got them? Anybody? Okay. Okay. David said he always pays. Boy, you something else. That's okay. All right. All right. Today's woman, they'll pay for both of y'all. Okay. All right. So, anyways, but then you got common friendship. Now, when you start having common friendship, that when y'all start having more things in common. That's when you're thinking about maybe taking it to another level. It don't mean that I'm in an exclusive relationship with you. It just means that I'm finding out that we got more things in common. The more we spend time together, the more I realize that I like what you like what I like, and so we have some things together. It's common, and that's cool. All right, but then the next level is a commitment. Now, when you move into the level of commitment, that's a serious level. That's some level of exclusivity when you're in a committed relationship, because sometimes that's when feelings get involved with it. Now, where how committed are you to this relationship? Is it you say, well, ain't no ring on it? Well, it's in a committed relationship. Back in the Bible days, they were in committed relationships even before they 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 consummated the relationship. In other words, they act married before they got married. They act married before they got married. Commitment. And so sometimes you find out whether people can handle a covenant, which is the next level, by how they handle commitment. If you can't really be faithful in a committed relationship, how you gonna be faithful in a covenant relationship when marriage don't change nobody? Nobody, them vows that you take when you get married don't change nobody. You take yourself into that. I don't care how many wild oats you sold at the bachelor party. If you get married, you take yourself into that situation as well. So, but when you're committed, you don't have to have a ring to do that. It's a commitment. When you're committed, then then um, then you are essentially off the market. I know this culture today don't want to hear that. You say I ain't married. I know, but if we just in a common relationship, we can see other people. But if I'm in a committed relationship, then um, I really am not comfortable with my partner seeing other people. So therefore, I know that she won't be comfortable with me seeing other people because we have a commitment to each other. It's a committed relationship. It's a committed relationship. I'm in a committed relationship. I'm committed to you and you committed to me, and we're trying to make the thing work. If there's no commitment on this level, how are there going to be commitment on the next level? That's when you got feelings involved. That's when you go back to the brick thing again. That's when you go back to slashing tires again, where you thought somebody was committed and they wasn't to your level of commitment. But then the last one is covenant relationships. Covenant relationships are the most serious relationships, and it goes beyond contracts. See, it's not a contract, it's a covenant. When it's a covenant, God is involved with it as well. And that's the highest form of friend. And so you never stop being friends. Even when you're in marriage, you're supposed to still be in friends with each other. Okay? Say marriage don't change nothing but the name. All right, here's number 6. Let go of the past, Dolores. Let go of the past. Let go of the past, man. Some people can't get past the past. And they're always trying to hold the past up in people's face, or they can't get past the past relationship, and they always dragging what somebody else did into their new situation. Sometimes it's just a bad breakup. I had a bad breakup. I had a situation that it just wasn't nice. It was nasty, and so sometimes we try to start a new chapter, and either the former chapter wasn't closed, or there's still a bookmarker in there for you to go back to. But you can't start a new chapter until the old chapter is complete. No bookmarkers. There's some highlights in there from the previous chapter, but really you've moved on to the next chapter. I'm not trying to go back to the previous chapter. I'm trying to go forward to the next chapter. I got to go forward to the next chapter. But I'm not going to keep referring to the past chapter, because what's in the past is in the past. I know sometimes there are children involved, but it's the children that you have to deal with. They'll always be in the present, and they'll always be going towards your future. But that person that you were with, come on now, you can't be that kind of drama. I have to deal with, and you got to make people respect who you with. Okay. Listen to this. A man should never have to check another man about his woman. That's not his job. That's her job. Anybody agree with me? A man should never have to check another man about getting too close to his wife. That's not your job. That's her job. Because he can't get no closer to her than she let him. That's her job to check him. She's supposed to say, hey, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. It ain't that kind of party. She have to shut that down. It's a lot of women that have gotten brothers killed and catching a case. It's a whole lot of sisters that done got brothers all beat up and jacked up because they tee-hee and he tee-hee-hee, 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 and they ah-hee-hee-hee, showing too much teeth. And brothers, I can't blame them, but my wife come home and say, man, this guy was trying to hit on me in the grocery store. He was trying to tell me, and so I ain't mad at him. If you want somebody that don't nobody else want, then you need to go for that, bro. I know what I got. I got somebody that I know guys are going to be trying for, but I don't trust them, but I trust her, right? She is a shut down artist. She can do it without being nasty. You ain't got to be nasty to people. You ain't got to cuss people out, or it's a way. If I step to a young lady and she is nice, but she lets me know it ain't like that. Can I get your number? No, no, it's just not like that. No, I'm sorry. She shuts that down, right? Same on the opposite way. A woman should never have to go to another woman to check her about her man. That's his job. He's supposed to shut that down. You see these women fighting over a man? That's crazy. You fighting over a woman over a man? Are you serious? That man, the problem ain't her, it's him. He the one got to say it ain't like that. No, my people is crazy. No, we not doing that. No. I'm not Facebooking you. I'm not inboxing you. I'm not messaging you. I'm not doing that. That's your job to shut that down. Y'all got to stop playing like that. If you're in a committed relationship or a covenant relationship, you the one have to do that. I'm talking straight up to you singles. Stop getting people in trouble over y'all foolery like that. You have to be the one to set the standards. Does that make sense? Am I telling you the truth on tonight? I wouldn't be on here this time of night if I wasn't telling you. If I wasn't trying to tell you the truth, best I know it. Brother, you shouldn't. Why am I fighting the guy over some compliment that? Why are you doing that, bruh? He can't go no further than she let him go, and vice versa. You can't let nobody disrespect your people. You can't let nobody. People call out. Hello, can I speak to Pastor Jack? Wait a minute, wait a minute. You speak to the person that answered the phone. People, if you let people disrespect them, they'll do it. You gotta respect them. You force them, because if they ever figure out that you ain't gonna say nothing, then the floodgates are over. You got to straighten that out, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. Okay. Hey, man, okay. Well, I'm at Dolores. That's the last one, number 7, because I got to get to my red flags. Where's Bumblebee? Put the red flags back up there again with this last one. Be happy with yourself first. If you're looking for everlasting happiness, understanding that that you can't find in yourself, you will never find it in another person. I mentioned Colossians earlier, Colossians 2:10. We are complete in Him. We are complete in Him. Enjoy your uniqueness. Enjoy yourself, because you are whole all by yourself. Okay, red flags. I love red flags. I done lost Dolores. I lost your daughter. She gone. Oh gosh, I hate losing people, but it is Friday night. Red flags. Red flags. Here are some red flags. Red flags. You ready? You ready? Number 1. Casually thrown hurtful words. Casually thrown hurtful words. That's not a yellow flag. That's a red flag. When you throw around hurtful words like they don't mean nothing. You know, you can call somebody stupid the wrong way. You know, when a man calls a woman a girl, she don't get upset. That might even be a compliment. But if a woman call a man a boy, well, well, that's a different thing. And sometimes words hurt. Number one, when you casually throw around hurtful words, to me, that's a red flag. Being overly possessive is a red flag. Overly possessive won't let you out of their sight. Um, Always too clingy. I'm talking about single people. Need to know where you are all the time. Let's try and put a little tracking device on your car. Hiring private detectives, noticing their car in the parking lot on the job. There are my red flags. Thank you, friend. Jessica, what happened? Your mama had to go and tell you pastor been asking about you. Red flags. That's being overly protective is a red flag. Here's a third red flag. No boundaries. No boundaries or a lack of respect for your boundaries. That's what I want. I want to know what level of red flags these are, Fran. You can let me know. Let me know. You said that's only 3. Only get 3 flags on that. The boundary thing. You're not feeling the boundary thing. The let me see if I can help a little more. You have boundaries, and you with somebody that don't respect your boundaries. They only care about what they care about. To me, that's a red flag, because my opinions are just as important as yours. And if we do this now as singles, what would happen if we go to another level? To me, boundaries are very important. I only got 3 flags on that one. Okay, here's another one. I gotta go deeper. All right, how about this? Too much, too soon. Too much, too soon. They want to come over on the first date. They want to take a cruise with you, Dolores. They want to go on. You just met them, and they want to go on a cruise with you. You just met them, and they want to sleep over. It's too much, too soon. They already talking about they love you, and you ain't been knowing them but a week. That's too much, too soon. Some people are in love with love. I say it's a red flag. Everybody say, well, Pastor, I want somebody. Oh, that's only one. Boy, I'm not doing good with these flags. Fran says she wanted to be too much, too soon. Okay. Okay, here's another one. I'm not doing well. Okay, here's the next one. Too busy. Too busy. They got time for everything else, but they don't have time for you. When y'all first hooked up, couldn't get enough of you, but then now they done got so busy. Now they're inconsistent. They'll ghost you. What Tony said, 7 whole days, not a word from you, 7 whole nights. Whatever. I'm telling you, I think that when people are too busy, and too busy. They're too busy to text. Too busy just to you go to the bathroom sometime, don't you? Can you text? But they too busy. To me, that's a bad sign. Here's another one. Don't want to be seen in public. Don't want to be seen in public. I feel like I'm being hidden. People say, "Well, I want everybody in our business." I know, but we can't never be seen nowhere. I understand privacy, but really, I feel like I'm being hidden. I feel like this is a down low, and it may be, but I'm not talking about down low situations. I'm talking about a situation that you feel that you meet somebody and they never want to be nowhere in the daytime, and you'll always find yourself in exclusive places where nobody will know you. Something may be up with that. You may not agree with me here. Thank you, Barbara. Oh, got a lot. Oh, she done found some flags. Fran, she done messed around and found some flags. She said, "I'll throw them." Okay. All right. No goals and no aspirations. No goals and no aspirations. Male and female. You ought to have some goals. What do you want to do? What do you want to be? What do you want to be in life? Or you want to just sit down and count my money? What do you want to do? What you want to be? How you plan to get there? What's your objectives? What do you want to be in life? What do you want to do in life? You just want to, what? Just want to have my babies and stay home and play with them? What you want to do in life? I think everybody ought to have dreams. If you meet a brother, he don't know. He just taking it day by day. Day by day. Oh, brothers. It's like, we gonna get married and live with your mama and them? You can't be no man in your daddy house. You can't never be no woman in your mama house. You ain't gonna be but one woman up in the house. Ain't gonna be but one woman in the house, and it ain't gonna be you. Okay, I'm not against moving in with parents. I mean, I really think it's poor planning, but it is what it is. Sometimes people have to move in with their parents, but there got to be an exit plan. There got to be an exit. Oh man, I done ran out of time fooling with y'all. You gotta have an exit strategy as well. Somebody, you gotta have a plan. You follow anybody with a plan. You gotta have a plan to act. I know somebody's got a good game and they be talking, but at least they got something. At least they talking about it. At least write it down. The Bible said, write the vision, that those that come along after you may run with it. Here's a red flag. I got to finish my flags. I'm almost out of time, but you got to finish. When you got somebody that talk too much about themselves, that's a flag. I mean, they ain't even ask you. The whole conversation is on them. Where they went to school, where they did, where they ran track, where they did this and this and that, and I did this and that, and I remember that reminds me of when I did such and such, and the whole time they ain't asking you about so how was your day? What's going on in your life? You need somebody that will also be concerned about you. What about you? Talk about you sometimes. Don't spend the whole time talking about yourself. And it ain't just one conversation either. Every time y'all get together, it's more about you, your family, your children, your job, your life, your school, where you went, where you going, what you gonna do. Man,
to me, that gets old after a while, man. I'm like, really? This thing ain't all about you. It's supposed to be about us. I'll close on this one. This is my last one. Throw the red flag when a person can never admit to being wrong. It ain't never their fault. They don't never apologize. Ain't nobody right all the time. Come on now. Ain't nobody right all the time, and ain't nobody wrong all the time. But you got some people that won't never admit to being wrong. I mean, they don't. There's some folks ain't never apologized for nothing. They be to hurt your feelings. You be in there crying your eyes out. They won't even say they sorry. I'm sorry you got your feelings hurt. No. Sorry you hurt my feelings. Sorry for what you said. Well, I'm sorry you made me hit you. I'm sorry I had to shoot you for hitting me. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to cut you. I'm so sorry too. I had to pour them grits on you. But bruh, my mama told me that you don't supposed to lay hands on me like that. Sorry didn't do that. Sorry I didn't do that. But you got some people that never apologize. They never say it was my fault, my bad. I made a mistake. It was a mistaken judgment. I'm sorry. If you get hooked up with somebody and you never heard those words, you never heard anybody admit that it was their fault, throw the flag. Throw the flag, because everybody misses it sometimes. Ain't nobody right all the time. And if somebody want to admit that when they're wrong, that's a problem. They need to talk to somebody, and they need to get some help, because they got some mental issues going on, and that's something that you don't want to be a part of. You don't want that drama. Hey, I got to get out of here. Man, that's a solid hour that I've given to both of you all. Nobody is complaining about nothing. The Lord, nobody is complaining about nothing. Joe, I gave them all. I know you came on a little late, but I gave them all. I gave them all a solid hour of teaching and sharing, and I pray that something was said tonight that will be of help to you. I'm trying to be consistent with it this year, letting you know when we're on, telling you right now that we'll be on April Fools. April Fools will be on the 1st of April, is on a Friday. April Fools. We're going to be talking about some great issues with couples at 8 o'clock, from 8 to 9, and then from 9 to 10 we'll deal with the seniors. Next month, on April the 1st, get it out there. We're going to make sure that we stay consistent with the chat line to make sure that we're on point. Hey, I got to run. I got to let you go. God bless you, everybody. Share it. Share. Even now, you can share it for somebody to pick it up later. Somebody can't watch it. They can't watch it now. They'll be able to watch it later if you share it. God bless you, everybody, and peace of God be with you. To the married folks, hey, hang in there. Remember, I say it again, it's not just about love. It's about understanding. In all of your getting, get understanding. To the single folks, you can catch on to that a little bit as well. Don't marry for love only. Don't marry for love only. I know that emotion is real strong in your heart. You feel all some kind of way about the person, but you can't live on it. You can't live on it. It don't pay the bills. It don't pay the bills. You love them and you don't take you nowhere. They love them. They don't do nothing for you. You love them so much. No, it's gonna take more than that, bruh. I got to get some understanding. Get some understanding to make sure I want what I signed up for, Joe. Joe said, I signed up for this. I ain't signing up for it unless I understand it. I want to understand what I'm signing up for before I go. I ain't going to talk about for no better, for worse, and don't know what worse is. I want to know pre-existing. I want to know everything before I make that commitment. May God bless you on tonight. Don't get me started again with that. May God bless and keep you. Everybody is my prayer. Good night. Good night. Good night. Love you. Amen.